Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for hanging out with me again today. So, Bean is back on the bench. I am trying to clear off the needs work done on it countertop over there. It's kind of my staging area, so if I've got a build halfway done and I've got to move it off the bench, or something needs repairs or whatever it is, it gets put over there, so it's kind of in my line of sight all the time. It's like, do me, do me, do me. That sounded terrible. Fix me, fix me, fix me. That's better. And it kind of works. Kind of does, kind of doesn't. One of the things was this. I built this truck 2 years ago. It's still waiting for paint. I got 2 coats of the liquid mask on, and one of the viewers is like, I'd put 3 on there just to make sure, because it was too thin. It's really difficult to work with. So I went ahead and put a 3rd coat on. And it still has 1 or 2 little spots where it's still drying, but it does now have kind of like a pale blue color, and I can see a lot more of the brush strokes in it, so I think there should be plenty on there, so I can start working on getting that stuff cut and slowly get that painted. Bean has been up there for quite a while. If you guys have not seen the video of this guy running, please go check it out here. It is just absolutely hilarious to see this thing goofing around out there with Mr. Bean sitting on top. But one of the things I really wanted to do with it after I took it out, I was like, it needs an interior. His car was full of stuff in this episode. That's why he's sitting on top on the chair. So I made interior panel that's going to get glued up to the inside of the car. I figured, okay, it's going to be a 30-minute project, making few little bits and pieces and gluing things in, and man, that turned into many hours of head scratching and trying to figure out what I can put in there that kind of should be in there, and getting it all to fit and not look like I just dropped a whole bunch of garbage on there. Took a minute. I will cut now to kind of an up-close overview of everything in the interior, but I wanted to get this done before I glued it in. That way I could, record what all is in there, because it's going to be harder to see, obviously, once it's in there. Alright, so let's go over some of the stuff I put on. These little paper boxes here and here were found online. I'll leave links in the description down there. It's like a dollhouse site. Basically, you print them off, and it looks like a little file box. And I just threw some stickers on the top to make them look, like something purchased from a store. These boxes here were all the little EVA foam cubes that I cut out, and then I wrapped them in just regular brown paper bag to wrap them up. Put a couple stickers on them here and there. The paper bags were made the same way. Just wrap it around, fold up the bottom, and it has a little tiny EVA cube in the bottom. So we have a paper bag stuffed full of stuff over here, and it's kind of crumpled up. And then this side, these little elbows are just pieces of white sprue from one of the kits. A little roll of duct tape here. Now all that is the silver Tamiya mesh tape. I just cut into strips and rolled up, and there's a little piece of the brown paper right in the middle to make the core of the tube. This is just cooking twine. Wrapped it up and super glued it together to make a bundle of rope. The little tiny paintbrush, that is just a coffee stick stir and a little bit of the twine material on the end, and then wrapped in the same Tamiya tape. These little paint buckets here, all they are little plastic bushings from a TV wall hanging kit. Painted them like a cream color. The tops are aluminum foil tape. I put 2 or 3 layers of foil tape stuck to each other, made it sure it was nice and flat, and then traced around it, cut out the top. The handles on them are the looped end of a paper, one of the little heavy-duty paper clip thingies. Just cut them off, and then they were tight enough on the cans to where all I had to do was just force it on there, and it holds onto the can nice and tight. The little extension cord here is just a piece of wiring from a charge brick. I ripped off the one wire that had the white stripe on there, and then the ends here are literally the little push pins. I just cut the push pin off to where there was just a little bit of the metal sticking out, and cut it to where it kind of looked like a plug shape, and stuck it on there. Of course, had to use a little brass bushing somewhere. You know, got a million of them. The wood here, and these little tiny bundles are just coffee stir sticks. Cut them up, glued them together. These have a little bit of twine wrapped around them, and all that is some of the same kitchen twine. I just pulled a single thread out, wrapped it around, put a little dot of super glue on the bottom to get it to stick. This is just cray paper streamer. We had our 50th birthday party not too long ago, so there was a lot of this black and silver streamer left over. All the little cubes are just EVA foam blocks. I stuck random bits and pieces of stickers on here. So these are all off of an Endura. I think I bought some Endura rock crawler wheels for one of the minis, and they had little stickers like their S5 compound and Endura Adventure. So I just cut off the Endura parts and, you know, the identifying parts that made them look like factory stickers. Like this one still says Endura, but just trimmed them up, made them fit, and just put little random stickers on there. This was one, actually this green sticker here and this sticker here were together. It was the silicone Endura inserts. So I just cut the design off of that and then put inserts here. Again, the other side of the wiring, I just bundled it up, wrapped it up, and glued it in. Another elbow from Parts Tree. This paper bag is just EVA foam block in the middle with just a bunch of push pins in there. I guess kind of looks like ornaments or something. Oh, and this is a paint roller and the roller sleeves, because obviously in that episode is the one where Bean blows up the paint can. So I'm assuming he was planning on painting. So I got the paintbrush and then the paint roller and the roller covers on there. Chain. It was just a piece of leftover chain from a 4-wheel drive kit. This is a little dowel for like putting IKEA furniture together. A Tamiya bit. This little white piece in the middle is actually the end of one of the fine tipped cotton swabs. I just cut 2 of the cotton swab tips off and, you know, made these little dowel pieces. And I was like, I don't know, I don't like the little hole that was sitting in there, so I just stuffed that in there. This is a little jewel, so it looks like Bean was had stolen a jewel by accident. More little Tamiya extra parts kits back here, more wood, and yeah, just random things to make it look like his car was filled up. But once the body's on, this will drop right over and sit about there, so it's not touching anything on the interior of the car. And then the body, you know, all that's going to come on and off together because this will be glued into the body. Painted it front and back. I actually used a Traxxas polycarbonate paint for it because it is nice and flat. But that will kind of finish off Mr. Bean, and, you know, it's going to look so much better with all of this stuff stuffed up underneath there. If I get it glued in today, I will try to get some up-close pictures of it. But it's going to be using E6000, so it's probably going to end up staying upside down for quite a while until that glue dries and is solid enough to flip back over without it falling off. Maybe I'll put some tape in there or something to kind of hold it in place, but we'll see. But if I don't get pictures of it in this video, I will definitely get pictures of it because it's going to have to go back out for a drive. Speaking of going back out for a drive, I'm going to take this and the Mercedes CLK GTR out for a run very soon. I don't know whether it's going to be over at Al's or if I'm just going to take it up to the local basketball court near us and run it around. The Zaxby's, basically what was sent to me was a vinyl overwrap. So it's a clear vinyl protection for the body, the decals, all that stuff. So you paint the body, you decal it, and then you put this clear vinyl wrap over top of it. And there's also some for underneath, you know, to prevent, you know, wheel scrubs and stuff from tearing up the paint. I plan on getting that done. I am going to get it done. I owe them the video for it, and I'm going to get it done. It just, I have not had the time to sit down and do that. It is much more involved than, you know, it kind of looked like. I think it's going to be a really cool thing, and it should protect the body, even if it rolls over, from scraping and scuffing up the plastic and the decals on it. So I am going to get that done. I have not had the time to sit down. Basically, you have to use wet soapy water and squeegee everything on, and it is quite tedious. There's a lot of the whole decal sheet is like this to have all the body panels and everything to go over it. It's just, like I said, I have not had the time to take care of it. One of the other things is Warsun has reached out. I haven't fully talked to him yet, but they were offering me a mini flashlight. And like I said, I always try to keep the reviews generally based on RC stuff. I try not to go outside the realm of RC too far. But I bought this a year and a half ago, at least. I've only charged this thing up like 4 or 5 times in that year and a half. It works great. I love this thing for my bench. It has a built-in magnet down here, and I have found a lot of drop screws, washers, E-clips, all kinds of stuff with this. If I get one, it'll have its full dedicated video, but you have a flashlight on the end, and then another one here that has multiple brightnesses, which it is bright, and then it has, police mode activated. I'm assuming, emergency beacon is what they consider that one. But it's just rechargeable by USB-C, one button on and off. It's super convenient. It has a little clip on here. I have a little metal stand that just slides right on and clips. If not, it will magnetically stick. I think this is all stainless. Yeah, it's all stainless steel here. But, the magnet's nice and powerful. You can slide it on your hat and use it as a downlight to work on things, the forelight to work on things. But obviously that's not necessarily RC related. This metal hardware catcher bit, I love. You can go up underneath your workbench and shine the flashlight. If you can't find it, you literally just start rubbing the carpet and you'll hear something go tick, and you found your part. I actually bought 2 of them on the Amazon Prime Day. Both of these are going out to the channel members. I'm going to have a giveaway over there for them. And if Warsun sends me a flashlight, I will purchase a couple more of these, and we'll do a giveaway on the main channel here. But I just want to talk about this thing. I have absolutely loved this, and I got these through Amazon. I'll link them down in the description if you guys are interested in picking one up. But like I said, I have used that thing a lot, so I highly recommend it. I did get a care package the other day. No name, but just says, here's some upgrades for your TT02 Ford Capri Turbo. Hope all is well. So this is a pile of upgrade parts. So that's another reason the Capri is not going out yet, is I've got to tear it down and put all this on. So we have aluminum motor mount, hardware for it. Do have the steel pivot balls, which I believe that already has. If it doesn't, then I'll add these. Has a high-speed gear set. The aluminum center shaft. We have front and rear CVDs with the out drives for the CVDs. Aluminum servo horns. The aluminum suspension caps. For the front end, you have the lower and the upper little cap pushing bits. And then he gave me a TRF direct fit aluminum servo horn. So this will take the servo saver out of the mix and go direct steering with this. So I'll probably have to beef up the servo in there. I'll probably hold off on this one until I get a better servo in it. And then I was like, well, I'm throwing upgrades at it. Might as well put some senseless ones at it. So I went out and bought a set of carbon fiber front and rear shock towers for it, with all the mounting hardware and everything to add to the pile. So thank you very much for the upgrades. That is probably the next thing to hit the bench, is go ahead, tear that most of the way down, start putting on the hop-ups for that. But thank you very much. You know who you are. You asked not to be named, per se. So, but you know who you are. So thank you very, very much. Let's see, what else? The Sand Scorcher is actually sitting over there. I still have to sit down and tape that up. the the frog is sitting right behind it. I brought that in from the garage the other day to stick a new motor in it. Again, for the speed run this year, they're just going to be ceremonial, and I've kind of fitted the body to the other one that is going to be the Fun Runner funny edition. So if you guys do see speedrun videos from me, just know they're just for fun. I'm not entering. I'm not participating. I don't want to take up room on Phil's board for just a generic, frog entry. I'll let everybody else that's actually competing and trying to upgrade their stuff and get faster and faster throughout the months to stay on the board. I'm just doing it for fun. So that is where we're at, guys. A lot of little bits and pieces have gone on here and there. I've painted 3 layers of this on. Each layer, it's basically paint it, come back the next day, paint it again. And then there was like a day or two in between, and somebody said, hey, you probably should put 3 coats on. I'm like, oh, okay. So I put 3 coats on. It's a little thick right in here where it caught a bunch. So that's still a little on the tacky side. So I'm just going to give it another day or two to finish drying and get that done. Like I said, the Mini, I should have that done very soon. Hopefully I'll get pictures for you guys. The Sand Scorcher I need to tape off and put the white on. Hopefully I get that done very, very soon. This guy, all I gotta do is just start cutting it out and spraying it. If it gives me fits, it's basically just going to be one big solid color. Maybe. So my plan is paint the roll bars first, because that's going to be the most intricate stuff to cut out and peel out. Cut the roll bars out first, and then I'm going to cut out all of the bed area, paint that black. And then we're going to figure out what we're doing on the rest of the truck. I am thinking it's going to be neon splatters, maybe some neon stripes. I honestly don't know. I'm not going to get too crazy and adventurous with it. I just want paint on it so it can get off of the crap that needs to be done bench. But I've still got the little Relarlo up there. I've got the Outrage buggy, the ZXR that's not a ZXR completely. I've got the Mercedes over there that needs to be run. I've got the NASCAR over there that needs to be run, which I guess we can take that out to the basketball court or wherever we go at the same time. And then the Sand Scorcher sitting up there. I think that will knock everything off of... Oh, I've got the 3S Big Rock down there that needs to be torn down and shocks rebuilt and just gone through to make sure everything's good on that. It's had a very, very rough life and needs some attention, or deserves some attention at this point. I don't think anything's broken. Shocks just need to be rebuilt, and it just needs some love. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to me ramble as always. Everybody out there, be happy, be healthy, be safe. Oh, and thanks for everybody that did go over to the truck channel. I appreciate it. The first video is up. The channel intro part, I know some people were like, oh, we didn't even get to see the truck. Now, that was basically for, people coming over to the channel that didn't know anything about me. Kind of a, hey, I'm Adam, this is what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And then the first video was me walking around the truck showing you guys all the stuff. In about another week or so, week and a half, you guys will get a second video for that, and that's when I actually start tearing the truck down, pulling it apart, finding all the horrible things that are wrong with it, and trying to develop a game plan to start fixing and repairing those. So that is coming, and I did work on it some Saturday. Spent a few hours out there welding some more. It is just a slow, painful process. I am still struggle busting with the welding, so it's a lot of very ugly booger welds still. I haven't perfected that little bzz, 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 bzz spot weld. It's kind of like booger, 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 booger. So the welding part takes a while, and then the grinding part takes a lot longer. It is getting there. I'm not going to spoil where I'm at with it, but, there are functional parts being put back into it, and, progress is being made. Anyway, guys, again, everybody be happy, be healthy, be safe. I will catch you guys on the next one. Everybody have a great week.